Hey guys, point of this video now is just to show you how we kind of make our kicks and kind of give you guys some sort of an idea on how these kicks are made. So pretty much we start out with a 909 stock standard with a bit of a long tail on it, so it just sounds on its own like this. And then you just want to distort that 909, so it sounds like this. Nothing, no EQ before and or anything, so you just distort the 909 to get the basics. So you just clip that as much as you can until you get a nice kind of distorted 909 there. So once you do that, you want to make kind of the waveform will look a bit better. You don't really need to do that, but I just do that to make life easier. You can use a linear phase EQ and just cut off 20 Hz below. But apart from that, then you can start to put an EQ. I've kind of exported every step of the way so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing and how every step of the way sounds. So that's the first one. So after I've distorted the 909 on its own, now I've added an EQ, kind of severe EQing there. I'm boosting around 500 to 1K, and a bit of low end, bit of high end, and I've just got a distortion on there as well. Simple distortion really. So that sounds really fuzzy and messy at the moment. And then the next step of the way is another EQ and another distortion. Once again, boosting around the 500 Hz to 1K region, and a slight bit of low end. And you can hear that. I'll switch off the distortion because I've already done that distorted. So that's a distorted part, and that's distorted again. So we have the second one now. So that's got an EQ on it, another EQ now, which is, you can see it's cutting the resonant frequencies in the track. I mean in the kick. So so the difference from this, it's a bit everywhere. So this one's a bit more under control and a bit more neat mixed down wise. And that bounced, and then I've distorted that again, and it sounds like this. Now the kick's a bit long, so what I've done is I've just cut the middle and I've shifted it over like this. And then I just crossfade the two and get a nice fade between them to make sure that it's not, as you can see, I'm just crossfading the two so that it kind of filters quicker, or else the kick sounds too long. A lot of people do this with a plugin called Auto Filter. That's on Logic, and you can use that as well if you use Logic. I just like to do it manually. I find I have more control. And once that's done, I've just shortened the kick, faded it towards the end. There's a bit of reverb on that as well. You can have a look at the channel strip, just a lexicon reverb. And then, that's the shortened kick there, the final one. And from that, we start to use the shortened kick. So we start to break it up into different layers. Before I've done that, I've EQ'd and put another distortion on there as well. So as you can see there, more severe EQing and another distortion. So then I've just EQ'd the top differently to the tail. As you can see, I've been using the one sample the whole way through now, and I'm just using that one sample to create everything else. And just to bring out the top and the tail a bit better, I've separated them and EQ'd them a bit separately. So now it's got a bit more high end, a bit more top end, and more mid-rangey, kind of low end. I've just pitched that kick down there, see what it sounds like. That's with some editing. And then I've separated the talk and the thing again, once again, and just used an EQ on that for slight mix down. So as you can see, this is very mid-rangey here, and this one, excuse me, you can hear the talk, very different, just from EQing. And then I think this is the final kick so far. So now you can really hear that tone in the kick, the barrel. It's kind of the filter, and then there's a distortion on that, and which is what we did when we shortened the kick, was we cut the end bit of it and the start of it, put it together, and then when you distort that, it sounds like it's actually filtering underneath the distortion, which what an auto filter does anyway, if you wanted to just use that. So that's the kick for now here. And then after some editing, EQing, and layering the kick again, this is kind of what it sounds like inside of a track. Just waiting for Cubase to load. Loading mixer. Today would be nice, please. Thank you. And this is what the kick sounds like afterwards. So that's an idea. You can then, because I've made this kick kind of stereo, I've got the option to muck around. So if I use the left side only, it's giving a totally different tone to the kick, and if I'm using the right side only, it's giving a total different tone to the kick. So if I go to the left side, one tone, that's another tone. That's normal. That's mono. That's just the right side. That's just the left side. So from that kick, I can use the separate channels of the kick to do different things and have a different variation of it. So that was kind of useful. I hope you can somehow make something similar, and we can help the art style scene grow. Peace. Take care.